property in Bangalore belongs to ISKCON Bangalore.
Sri Madhu Pandit Dasa, the president of ISKCON Bangalore. They may want to again continue this old habit of fighting.
When I heard that Sarva Karana Karanam, I was shocked.
I've been from the beginning of this journey. The evolution that you have undergone, you have given 60% of your time for this.
Reading 2 pages of Srila Prabhupada's books, I had tears in my eyes.
Ritvik means no guru. Ritvik means abstraction.
Devotees are mistaking need for living sadhu-sanga, a living Diksha. This is a mistake.
To somebody who is dependent on a living person, this sounds like you are a crazy person.
Biggest shock for me is when I discovered the July 9th letter.
Our philosophy has emerged from the bad experience of falling gurus.
You cannot expect a child in the primary school to understand the reason why.
Say, if you and Chanchalapati Prabhu are out, will the same connection be continued?
There are 2 aspects, system and people. System itself is improving. What is the spiritual foundation of that relationship? Simply I scratch your back, you scratch my back. I have stood up and I have described Bhaktivedanta Swami as one of the 11 acharyas appointed. In the Bhaktivedanta purport, Prabhupada said GBCs will be questioned by Yamaraj.
Hare Krishna.
Hariva.
It's a great honor for me to be in your presence. And for the sake of the audience, let me introduce you, although they all know all about you. Sri Madhu Pandit Dasa, the president of ISKCON Bangalore, the chairman of the Akshaya Patra Foundation, and the mentor of the global ISKCON Bangalore and Hare Krishna movement devotees all over the world. So, Madhu Pandit Prabhu, an historic battle, as I hope so, this is the end of it. But our friends maybe not, may still not be over for them. They may want to again continue this old habit of fighting. But still, I feel it has reached its destination, or it has reached the river has flowed into the ocean. Maybe some backwaters are still there. In due course, it will also reach its sea and Sangam ho gaya. So, this journey, lot of, I would say, even practically, because I have been from the beginning of this journey, although it has been it has got a very negative connotation, but still, as a human being, as a devotee, it must have taught you a lot of lessons, spiritually, materially, and as a leader, your the evolution that you have undergone. Please describe to all of us and to all Prabhupada followers, what is your great takeaways from the last media, and you also, and everybody have been telling it is 25 years. It's not 25 years, it's 27 years. Right? 98 we started this.
Right.
So in the last 27 years, I think that's the prime of your age. Right? You have given, I would say, at least 60% of your time for this. 50 to 60% of your time. So what has been your takeaways? Please give us.
I joined in the year 1981. And I came across Srila Prabhupada's books when I was in IIT as a student. And that was in the year 1977, March or something. I came across his book in IIT, reading 2 pages of Srila Prabhupada's books, Krishna book specifically. That's a book I took. Reading that, I had tears in my eyes. Because I have been, before that, for 3-4 years, in search of what is the, cause of all causes, what is life, all these things. And I could never get a satisfactory answer from anyone of the other Western philosophers, or even the Indian, various other schools of thoughts. Till I read Srila Prabhupada's books, where I came across this verse first. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. When I heard that Sarva Karana Karanam, I was shocked. Oh, this is not some plain theism or anything. Sarva Karana Karana, cause of all causes. What a beautiful word. And all the other books that I have been reading, other philosophies I have been reading, the authors themselves come to a conclusion. They will talk in a manner, maybe this is truth. Maybe this is truth. This is the absolute truth. But here I saw the tone with which Prabhupada was speaking. There's something else that came out of the book into my heart. I felt this person knows who is God. So my journey began at that point of time into Krishna consciousness. Then in 1981, I joined Krishna consciousness movement.
If I may interject, which year was that you read Krishna book?
1977 March.
77.
77 March. Of course, after that, as I got deeply involved in reading more and more, within few months of reading Prabhupada's books, I was very intense in observing everything that Prabhupada said. And at that time, I don't know whether there is an ISKCON movement and there are temples. All these things are not known to me at all, because from the books you cannot make out these things. And from the book you can only see Bombay, Los Angeles, and 3 places are written, BBT. And the only address in the book was Los Angeles. So I somehow wanted to communicate with Srila Prabhupada. And as I was, one thing you could read out, you could make out when you read Prabhupada's books, that you need a bona fide spiritual master. So I wrote to Srila Prabhupada. I was young at that time. I was 21 years old. So I wrote to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept me as your student. I was not even so familiar with the word disciple and guru also. Please accept me. You know the truth. You know the absolute truth. Please accept me. And I sent a letter to Los Angeles. Of course, I never got any reply.
The full address was there in
The full address was there. Vachak Avenue.
Vachak Avenue.
That was there. The full address was there. And then only in 1980, because I was in IIT Bombay.
If Los Angeles means you have to send aerogram.
Aerogram.
Yes.
Airmail.
We used to buy 10 rupees stamp or something, or 5 rupees stamp.
It was a procedure. Just like those inland.
Yeah, I know that.
International. So it's only in 1980 that when I was carrying the book, Prabhupada's book in a hand from the library, borrowing, and one by one I was reading. So in a hostel, I was moving with that book one day. And another devotee, not son, another classmate of mine, hostel mate of mine, he saw this book in my hand. "ये क्या है रे?" he told. I said, ये तो मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ. अच्छा, आपको मालूम नहीं, जुहू में इनका एक बड़ा मंदिर है. He said, "Oh really? मंदिर है?" So I put in my mind that I should visit. It was not 88 or 79. 79. Mandir hai. So that is how I came to know. And he explained to me, they have temples all over the world. And no, really. So I was hoping that, okay, now I'll meet Prabhupada here. So I went. And from IIT, is in the suburb. It's a long journey to go to Juhu, from Powai to Juhu. So one fine day, I decided the only reason we used to go once in a while outside to the heart of the city was to see movies. So one day like that, we group of boys went. So went for a movie, finished everything, and then on the way back, it was a matinee show. Way back, I said today I'll go to Juhu. So they all went. I went on my own. I went alone. They all left. I went alone to Juhu. And I found out the temple. And then I went. I reached, I was about to, it was almost 8:15 or something. And I was asking, where is temple? So one person told, abhi to band ho gaya hoga, he said. So I was thinking, oh, really? Then I said, in those days, young boys here. I said, if it is closed, I cannot come back again, go and come back. I'll find somewhere to lie down.
My God.
I'll sleep somewhere in the night and, I'll go for the darshan and then go tomorrow. This kind of
Conviction to go to a temple.
Yeah, because of Prabhupada. By then Prabhupada has entered me. Okay, into my consciousness. I should. Then I started, when he said, "Idhar hi hai," then I started running towards it. So entered the temple. Then I saw just the evening class was ending. So one devotee, Niranjan Prabhupada disciple, who was a mechanical engineer from UK, he was giving class. And then after class, on that last arati happens. That time I was there. I had darshan and everything. After class, he went up and he was standing near Gornitai altar. So all other deities I understood. So I went to him and asked him, "Ye kaun hai?" Gornitai. Then he explained, who is Nityananda Prabhu, who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All this he explained. And of course, I was flabbergasted by the presence of Prabhupada in the form of his deity there, overlooking Radha Rasvyari. So I was, so something and all was happening. So, okay, I visited and I what to do, I did not know. So then that Niranjan Prabhu, he told me, "Where are you from?" I said, "I am from IIT. I had to. How will you? It's very late. No, how will you go?" I said, "Yeah, I will manage. Trains are there last night. From then, I'll manage from Bikroli to YL. Sometimes we walk also. I'll go." To my shock, it's all happening in front of the deities, Gonita deities. So Niranjan Prabhu tells me, No, you come with me. He took me straight to the prasadam hall behind. And he gave me prasadam. Then he said, it's very late for you to go now. Come with me. He was in charge of the BBT Hindi in those days. He took me to the BBT office upstairs. And then in office, he gave me one mat. He said, we sleep morning, attend Mangalarti and go. He said.
Did you know what is Mangalarti?
No, I didn't know. Or you was telling, yes, Mangalarti. I was not in control. Okay. So, this was sometime around 79.
Oh.
And I slept there in the night. Then I was asked, I was desperately asking him, can we hear Srila Prabhupada's sound?
You asked.
I asked, can I hear Prabhupada's sound?
Hmm.
Because in those days and all, tapes and all just coming. It's not that all that...
that time I think LP was there.
Not all that... So, to believe that, all these have been recorded and all is...
In India.
In India, it was, unusual.
Yeah.
They had a huge spool recorders.
Yeah, I've seen
And
that.
ordinary person cannot
Play all those things.
Yes. And it
Correct.
touch the comment.
Correct.
So he said, yes, I'll give you. Then he brought his tape player, and he played Prabhupada's one lecture. I was so thrilled.
Hearing the voice of
Prabhupada. My God. We can still hear his voice.
Yeah.
Acha, before that, I have to tell you something else. How I knew he is no more. Okay. In the year, on the disappearance day of Srila Prabhupada, news came in the newspaper.
Oh.
So I was in the mess.
In 77. November 14th.
Yes. The news came that Divine Grace, so and so.
Has passed away.
All this thing. One long column was there. It passed away, and he's established so many temples around the world. And in the end, it was saying that all his disciples are, observing fast all over the world, etc. Or something like that. So I was newspaper, before going to mess, you generally go into the lounge and you read it. I said, I'll also fast. I didn't know the significance because there they written all his disciples all over the world are observing fast and something in the newspaper. So I could observe fast on the day of Prabhupada's disappearance day. And then that is how I knew Prabhupada had left this world. So therefore I was asking, his voice is there and all this thing to Niranjan Prabhu. So then early morning, he gave me one...
you got it for
he woke me up.
He woke you up.
You see, another thing happened that night. This Lifetime in Preparation was one book of Prabhupada's biography. That was on the table. It had just come after publication.
Who had written that?
Satsarup Das Goswami.
Oh, that was prior to Leelamrita, is it?
Yeah. No. Leelamrita's first volume was called Lifetime in Preparation.
Oh, Leelamrita's first volume was called Lifetime in Preparation.
So that night, I did not sleep practically. So 4 or 5 chapters of that I was reading, and the Prabhupada's early days in India, I read. And that also completely, grabbed my heart, my attraction towards Srila Prabhupada. And then about an hour I would have slept, he woke me up. I went for Mangalarti, and then he told me, what is the hurry? You, after class, after Prasadam, you go. So my first entrance into ISKCON was ISKCON Juhu. And there I had, mercy of Radha Rasvihari,
Mm.
Nitai Gauranga. And after that, every Sunday I started going. Okay, every Sunday.
Alone.
Initially alone. Then I had started, taking so many other partners, and they used to also come. Then I used to get associated with the Bhaktivedanta Institute.
That was already there.
It was already there.
Oh.
There's one floor, Bhaktivedanta Institute was there. Prabhupada himself gave that floor to them.
Acha.
And one Madhu Das was there. And he was in charge. I think he was a European somewhere. So we used to go there every week and take boys there. And after that, slowly, what 6-7 IITs used to go every Sunday. And then we were all very favorite of all the devotees. They used to take us for Prasadam Hall and all those things. We used to do volunteer seva of serving Prasadam and all those things. So that is my first impression was with Prabhupada's books. Then I went to Juhu temple. And that's how I started getting the association of devotees. Oh, in this context, I would like to say one thing. You see, in the present, our dispute, many times people bring up this idea of you need a living guru. Right?
In your case, so it is absolutely not there.
No.
Okay, the entire connection is established.
Yeah. No, I'm saying one thing. I want to explain a very fine point through my own experience. Devotees are mistaking need for living sadhu-sanga with a living Diksha Guru. This is a mistake they are making. Because in our Siddhanta, to make advancement in Krishna consciousness, one needs Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. So Sadhu is an element where people, when they start Krishna consciousness, they cannot identify the vibration as an absolute reality. It has to be represented by somebody who is living, talking, because everybody is in bodily concept of life. If you have a body, then I recognize here is a person. If the body is not there, I cannot recognize. When sound is there, I cannot recognize he is a person. By default, because of bodily concept of life. So till somebody rises above the bodily concept of life, it is very essential in bhakti that living person's associations are required. But doesn't mean that is equal to living of a Diksha Guru. You see, the point is, people look at the July 9 directive of Srila Prabhupada, Ritvik system of initiation, in isolation. They don't understand that this is a directive of initiation in a total system in ISKCON as an institution. Not standalone, a new system has come and Ritviks can initiate on behalf of the previous acharyas. Prabhupada's July 9 directive is addressed to an institution. It doesn't fit outside an institution. There are elements that are very essential for the Ritvik system to succeed. And those elements are all other elements in ISKCON movement that Srila Prabhupada set up. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. So, this is one thing that I sometimes it surprises me so much that people fall for this argument of living guru. Who will chastise me? You take all the devotees pre-77, who chastised them? Their immediate authorities chastised them. When they had some questions, whom did they go to? They went to the immediate authorities. If they couldn't answer, then they used to write to Srila Prabhupada letter, and Prabhupada used to reply. So this aspect of the need for a living Vaishnava, living Vaishnavas is misunderstood to reduced the transcendental Sadguru, spiritual master, to be essential, to be in flesh and blood.
Actually, this fine understanding, devotees are not able to catch it. Like what you're saying, I can easily
Yes.
grasp it.
Yes.
Like I can easily grasp what you're trying to say. But sometimes the rank and file of the devotees, they are caught up in this. Oh, Ritvik means no guru. Ritvik means abstraction.
Yes.
This kind of a,
Ritvik means ignoring all the Vaishnavas.
Vaishnavas.
It is not at all true.
Please, for the rank and file, what is our position of devotee association, of understanding sadhu-sanga, little more, break it down for a lay, new devotee who is part of the Krishna conscious community, how he can engage himself in a devotional activity in the realm of a Ritvik understanding, the personal association of people, all these, how we will still continue to get, and it is an important aspect of a devotee's life.
You see, Srila Prabhupada is a Vaishnava Acharya. As a Vaishnava Acharya, he did not invent anything absolutely new. So he created an organization. Prabhupada clearly says that I established this Krishna consciousness movement for devotees to come and associate with each other. So we are connected to Srila Prabhupada, and we are connected to Srila Prabhupada's mission organization also. He cannot separate his teachings from his way he applied his teachings through an organization. So what normally happens is, you put somebody on a mental platform and say, hey, how you are? If you have any doubt, whom you will go to? Correct. A neophyte will think, yeah, correct. I need a living guru. But in reality, what happens in ISKCON, even in their camp or even in our camp, very clearly, when a new devotee joins, for 3-4 years, he is always learning things from, living Vaishnavas around. And most of the other things is on a mental level, philosophy, he understands. Realization begins gradually by associating with the holy name. The reservoir of Satchidananda. Eternity touches him. He gets awakened. Slowly he goes beyond the bodily platform. Body is not the reality. Greater reality is spirit. Initially, what you see is truth. For everybody, greater reality is grossness. So later on, he understands that grossness is nothing. The real reality is the spirit in this body. So till that comes, it is a fact that without association of Vaishnavas, you will not progress. Maybe very extreme rare cases, due to continuation of his previous life, he is already on the spiritual platform. It is not absolutely essential. Depends where you stand. Still, even then, in this material world, when you come in, even if you had made a lot of advancement in previous life, you are born in a bodily concept of life, right? And then only when you touch the spiritual master, you become twice born. That's a new birth comes. Spiritual. I am spiritual. I am spirit. And for some people, it's very fast. For some people, it has to happen through sadhu-sanga. So, giving this logic, putting people on the so-called rational plane, you get stuck. Youngsters, neophytes. Yeah, you need chastisement, you need living guru.
Like, for example, I'll tell you, a new person, he comes to a guru basically seeking relationship. He's fed up of material relationships, and he feels, when I come to a spiritual master, I will get some kind of a spiritual relationship rasa. Right? So when we worship, when we see a person in flesh and bone, and we feel that that person is a very spiritually evolved person. So I want to establish a relationship with that spiritual person. And from that spiritual person, I will get spiritual joy. I will get spiritual rasa. So this is what actually brings in the concept of living person.
Right.
Right? So one of the arguments, or sometimes, like how I am trying to say, they don't have that articulation, but this is what they're actually meaning. Okay. They're actually one thing is, they're saying that in your Ritvik system, we are not able to get this joy of relationship because you have removed that personality from there. So, because following in the Ritvik, I feel that's a wrong assessment.
No, it is definitely a wrong assessment. That
And how to establish, from your own words, I would like to understand, for the clarification of such people, how do you communicate to them, boss? It's not like that. You still can get the entire rasa of a personality, of a spiritual guru person.
yes. Now, it appears to be true what they think. In the present times, or even in our times, 1990s, 1980s, it appears to be true that we need a person in flesh and blood whom I can take inspiration from and whom I can look upon as the person who will save me or who will make me advance in Krishna consciousness.
Whom I can put my
faith,
ultimate faith.
Exactly. So,
of course, we have seen in ISKCON what and all happened because of that.
Yeah. I can answer this very well because I was there.
Yeah.
From 81 to 98, I was there. And I was part of this system of projecting that kind of a faith on somebody whom I accepted.
Great rasa. You have I have also got that rasa.
Yeah.
Experienced it.
You see, this peculiar situation came into existence after 1977, wherein Prabhupada's, what he was doing spiritually within the institution to all the devotees pre-77, that aura of Prabhupada. Prabhupada did not, thousands and thousands of disciples accepted Prabhupada with full faith that he is my spiritual master, he will save me. Many of them didn't have one conversation with Prabhupada.
Yeah. How did he connect?
How did he connect? This is the real spiritual vibration of Srila Prabhupada. His vibrational presence, Vani of Prabhupada, impacted everyone in those days. And post 77, what happened? The institution itself institutionalized other personalities as now the next persons who you have to give that same kind of, means Prabhupada is replaced by them. This is the biggest mistake. And then that system perpetuated. As it perpetuated, if you come to 1990 and all, you will feel shunya. If you don't have a living person, you will feel shunya. Why? Because that vibration has been covered. And why it has been covered? Prabhupada's books was there and our thing is there. Why it is covered? Because there is a there's a Vaishnava principle called Maryada Vritikrama. You cannot jump over your guru to the next in the parampara. Just like I cannot jump over, like, let's say a Prabhupada disciple pre-77. He cannot jump over Prabhupada and have a relationship with Bhaktivedanta. Swami Prabhupada. It's considered to be odd. He is not, your current link is saving you. He is your spiritual master in parampara. So it is, you can take inspiration from teachings of all the previous acharyas. But as you rightly said, that personal link relationship, my soul is going to be taken care of by such and such a person. You cannot think that Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur and previous acharyas will take my soul back to Godhead. That's our philosophy. Whereas this was replaced, they said, yes, now these present gurus will take you back to God. So it's a very subtle thing that got practically 80% blocked within the institution. So all young devotees were looking for, because they were told that they were appointed. Now, I should not jump over this guru. It is against the Vaishnava Siddhanta. So, in other words, the personal relationship with Prabhupada for the devotees who came to ISKCON post 77, the way it happened, the relationship, totally minimized compared to how by default it happened to pre-77 disciples. So, therefore, I said that in the 1880s and 90s, if you ask, it looks like, hey, it's true here. We need, because that system has been perpetuated.
See, it's like,
and you're fearing to jump over to Srila Prabhupada
Yeah.
as my direct spiritual master. No doubt, Prabhupada is inspiring, reading everything, we are reading everything. But the point you talked about personal relationship, people used to distance themselves.
see, the thing is that, like Guru, if you see, we become dependent. My Guru's wish, my Guru's blessings, the dependency. So, now somebody who has been bought into a culture of a living Guru, so they have developed that, they have learned the art of dependency on that living Guru. Now, even in our
Living in flesh and blood.
In flesh and blood. I meant to say living in flesh and blood.
You have to qualify it.
Yeah, right.
Because Prabhupada chastised. What?
Yes, what is
Living.
Yeah.
Guru is always living.
Yeah. So, for us, like for example, the same aspect of dependency for me or for you or for anybody in our temple, we are able to depend on Srila Prabhupada.
Yes.
Right? That dependency is there.
Is there.
But for somebody who has got habituated to somebody who is dependent on a living person, this sounds like you're a crazy person. So there is a mental block that is creating that you are not talking sense to me. How do we, especially you, or people who are, of course, I have been in the fag end of the Guru system, not too much delved into it, but yes, I know, because I've been part of that also, this also a little bit. But you have been a long time part of the, where you have done everything. Because sometimes people in online, they say, oh, Madhu Pandit, who used to worship Sri Guru, Charana Padma.
Not only not only Pada Puja, you read my Vyasa Puja offerings.
They have bought that also. Recently, some devotees showed it to me.
See, these are the things that abuse has happened.
Yeah.
So when you come into ISKCON, you see that this is what they teach you. You're neophyte.
Yeah.
They say, and then you read from Prabhupada's books, and then you find out you're the best. You have to have the Vyasa Puja offering. It has to be the best what you can write. So you read Prabhupada's books. What is a guru? What is this, that? Exalted qualities, 26 qualities of Vaishnava. So actually you're writing the philosophy there.
Yeah. So you...
And then you're glorifying, he's the most exalted, he's pure devotee. You are my only savior. All these things we write in the Vyasa Puja book.
So you are a person who are fully immersed in that. And then come out of it. So you know the entire, all aspects of that elements.
Yes.
And now it has been more than 27 years since you gave up that also.
Yes.
Right? So, for the benefit of the people whom we are talking to also, are you missing anything?
Absolutely no. Absolutely no. Absolutely no missing of anything, because
Do you crave for the rasa, please?
no, you see, if somebody is a genuine seeker, everything starts philosophically. Then realization becomes jnana and then vijnana, right? Even the so-called, zonal acharyas, they were also, when you are young, you in the outside world, you don't know what is a guru, nothing, you do not know. What is the need for relationship? So first in a theoretical level, you are there 1 or 2 decades. Okay, to strike a relationship, it takes time.
Correct.
Because you are not living with them. Because they come and in ISKCON, all the gurus follow the same thing that Prabhupada did. Initiate, then go away. You get once in a year one to see. So others followed this. So like that, there is no, you marry somebody, you live with them, everybody, in few months you get a relationship.
You will establish.
Establish relationship.
With an unknown person also.
Unknown person.
Actually, it's very mystical.
Yeah, mystical. Because you are living with them.
No.
But here it is not like that. It has to, first is you apply the theory. You change your perception. Not that you see that quality in that person. Because first you have faith that Prabhupada has appointed them. This is a root, foundation. Everything that is happening here is as per Prabhupada's. Because you are not seeing anything. You cannot see glories, spiritual glories with your eyes. So living gurus come. So institutional they come, they have Guru Puja, they have this thing, all those things. So you get excited. And then you read Prabhupada's, what is a guru, philosophy, everything. You're projecting on them all these things.
It's not only with respect to our system. This is what is happening in all the spiritual so-called organizations also.
Yes.
It's the herd mentality who creates a wave, and that trickles down to everybody else, and he becomes the sum and bottom of for that person.
Right. We are the ones who project. If you are lucky, that projection may match with reality.
Correct.
If you are not lucky, you live in illusion till some bubble breaks.
Absolutely.
Till some bubble breaks.
Absolutely.
And you will not be disturbed till that, because
it
is your system, relationship system you have created in your mind.
Yeah.
So unless the bubble breaks, you'll go on perpetuating it, because you're reading Prabhupada's books, you're projecting everything on him. Whomever you accepted as spiritual master. So this is actually the evil that has crept into ISKCON.
So I think at this point, you should explain the tattva of guru relationship that is actually we should pursue. Because in ignorance, we pursue some relationship which is not a spiritual relationship.
Right.
So elaborate on what is actually spiritual relationship that we should pursue. Whether even among, say, one is we have relationship with Prabhupada, our Diksha Guru, or everything. But even among individual devotees also, how to develop spiritual relationships.
Yeah. You see, every relationship.
Because without relationship, we cannot live.
Right. There's always, spiritual life is full of relationships. But one has to understand the spiritual, whether that relationship is founded on spiritual principles. The only way is to see the foundation of that relationship. Foundation of that relationship. The foundation of that relationship, first you learn theoretically. Just like, few aspects of Prabhupada will inspire you. Even if it was pre-77. Then slowly you understand that, what is a Sadguru. All these things you learn. After you learn, you see that these qualities are in this person. And that becomes a foundation. So if the foundationally you have to first accept that this person is a confidential devotee of Krishna, confidential servant of Krishna. He is authorized by his predecessor. These are some of the principles. Because we have to go by principles. We cannot experiment all these things. We accept Prabhupada, then we hear from him what is Guru Parampara. Then we realize that yes, Prabhupada was self-effulgent Acharya, that Bhaktivedanta Swami Thakur predicted, and he is a founder Acharya. So these are some of the foundations on which we start applying the principles, the Guru Siddhanta, all the theory aspect of it, we start applying. And then we see that indeed this person has all those qualities. So what is important is, now between God brothers, the relationships, what is the spiritual foundation of that relationship? Simply I scratch your back, you scratch my back, that kind of friendship is not
I feel
sadhu-sanga.
good being with you.
Yeah. These are not all the things. What is important is that how each of us are contributing towards deepening our relationship with our common father, Srila Prabhupada and Krishna. So spiritual master is the center is a foundation for even mutual relationship between the devotees in the movement. So, as I said, if you are projecting the things that Prabhupada describes about a spiritual master, uttama-adhikari, is that, he's this, he's embraced by Narada, and all those superlatives that are there in the Srimad Bhagavatam, purport by Prabhupada. If it is projected on a person who is really a Mahabhagavata, then there is no deception. Now here is where deception comes within the spiritual institution. Deception comes when there is a mismatch. Somebody who is not that, we are projecting that. There's a deception comes. Yeah. So it's a deception. There cannot be deception in spiritual life. You cannot deceive yourself and go back to Godhead, because it is a path of truth. Once I was speaking to Pejavashri, and I was telling him that through persons who are not reached the stage of Mahabhagavad, can one reach God? Can he take us to God? Can we reach God? He gave a beautiful answer. I cannot forget that. Krishna is perfect. The path to him also has to be perfect, he said. So it has to be a Mahabhagavata for you to reach Krishna, to go to Krishna. So Guru has to be Mahabhagavata. That our philosophy is what? Not we are not a guru. We are not a massage guru parampara. A massage guru parampara. The whole skill is about how to massage. It is about physical body, right? So 100% living guru in flesh and blood is required to transmit the knowledge of massage. But Prabhupada has taught us the definition of parampara. Parampara is not body parampara. This is another big mistake that people misunderstand. Okay, it's a vyavaharic word, parampara. This parampara, that parampara, massage parampara, music parampara. But this is the spiritual parampara, going back to Godhead. This is about transmitting spiritual knowledge. So Prabhupada, see, there is an essence of everything and there is a application of things. You have to see what is the essential principle of parampara. Prabhupada says that principle of parampara is that the disciplic succession means the disciplic conclusion should be passed on as it is. If the disciplic conclusions are passed on as it is, then the parampara continues. Suppose somebody is the bodily, you're in the parampara, Prabhupada in the parampara. Somebody else next he says, I am the parampara. And if he says, I am in the parampara, and if he is not perfectly passing on the conclusions, then even if you are a guru, you are not a guru. If you means you are not taken up, I am the next in the parampara. Whether you take or not take, anyone who represents that conclusion as it is, disciplic conclusion as it is, he continues the parampara. And I'll tell you one thing, very important. This is my realization. Times have changed. Technology has come. There are umpteen ways in which the disciplic conclusion is preserved. That is why Srila Prabhupada said, my books are there. I live in my books. That means this parampara lives in his books. If those conclusions, without changing anything that Prabhupada had in his, without book changes being made, that knowledge, if it is preserved, generation after generation, then parampara continues. And there will be some people who will represent it as it is. They break the parampara. Parampara is lost. If you really take forward the conclusion, you are representing the parampara. So, we are all, that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Amarajñoye Guru Hai. Because everybody should become Guru. It's just like, I gave you an explanation of, we are also believing in living in flesh and blood sadhus. At a certain stage of neophyte growth, it is all very much essential. You'll be surprised. We want a Ritvik movement full of gurus, but Siksha gurus. Otherwise, we are changing the philosophy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, everybody become guru. We'll stand up and proclaim to the world, everyone should become guru. Should become guru. But don't take up that position of that deliverer guru who's got a very specialized. That is why there can be one Diksha guru and there can be many Siksha gurus. Why is the reason one Diksha guru? One Diksha guru? Because there is a contract between Krishna, guru, and that disciple. That I will deliver you. That is why you cannot go to two people. In Vaishnava Siddhanta, you have taken Diksha from somebody, you cannot go. It is called Vaishnava offense. Yeah. When some of the God brothers of Prabhupada wanted this kind of thing to go to another person, I will take Diksha, higher Diksha and all, the Prabhupada was very angry. It is against. Why is it so? Because it is Prabhupada's connection with Krishna. I will bring this soul back to you. So that guru, leave that to Prabhupada. Leave that job to Prabhupada. He is proved to this world to deliver millions of people from ignorance just by his physical presence. That is the potency of Prabhupada. Now, if Prabhupada, people say Prabhupada was so, very offensively they say, he's so important that he did not create any pure devotees.
Yeah, recently one devotee has spoken
all kinds of offensive things, they write.
Crazy things.
Prabhupada is potent to turn the entire, all the Vaishnavas into pure devotees. So what? They're misrepresenting this philosophy of, this Ritvik system they are doing because gurus have fallen down.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to come to you when you said deception. Some of the things that the non-Ritvik or the living guru kind of people, they say, our philosophy has emerged from the bad experience of falling gurus. That's why we are talking about deception. So from your own mouth, please clarify, what is our take on all these things? Are we driven by some bad past experiences and reactionary we have created this kind of a system?
These are all things that the viewers should understand. That gurus have fallen down, therefore we want a Ritvik system. Absolutely nonsense. Absolutely nonsense. It is. We are following the principles of Diksha Vidana. Bhagavatam verse clearly says, all of you are very familiar with that, Diksha Vidana, that unless one is authorized by the predecessor Acharya, one cannot start giving Diksha. That means one cannot become a Diksha Guru. So when that is the case, we are simply saying that Srila Prabhupada did not authorize any of his disciples as a predecessor Acharya. He did not. So he remains the current Acharya within the ISKCON institution. And all others, through this Ritvik system of initiation, they're giving on behalf of Prabhupada. It is not that, Prabhupada gradually from 1970 onwards, 1970, I think first time Prabhupada sent malas by post to Kirtananda Swami and few others, you give on my behalf. So there are various functions, various aspects of a Diksha ceremony. Slowly delegated, one by one, and finally it came July 9th and in May 28th conversation. Finally, he said, some of you will act as officiating acharyas. And that too, Prabhupada, the context in which this word officiating acharyas has come out of Prabhupada is what we are holding on to. Why we are so sure that, okay, Prabhupada did not authorize. So what is the alternate system? How we are so sure that this is the alternate system? It was some temporary system that Prabhupada gave. No, Prabhupada did not leave us in darkness. Officiating Acharya word came in response to a particular question that was prepared by the GBC, the question taken to Srila Prabhupada by few representatives of the GBC. Srila Prabhupada, how the first and second initiation will happen, particularly when you are no longer with us. You see, it's not that some, Prabhupada was sick, so therefore we went and asked so many initiations are pending. No, so, okay, temporarily you please be Ritviks and you give on my behalf. No, the question was particularly when I was not there, when you are no longer there. And questioner's mind also is very clear. The answer that is going to come out is for future. Straight present. I will very soon appoint some of you to act as officiating acharyas. And then next question, Tamal Krishna Maharaj says, Ritvik Acharya. Prabhupada says, Ritvik. Yes, Ritvik. And then further they are wanting to clarification whose disciples there will be and all those things. But all those things, Prabhupada then is talking about the principle of, if somebody is a grand disciple, all those things, disciple of disciple. He's talking a principle. Well, how do you know that? Because he superscribes most of at the critical point, he'll say, but by my order. When I order, disciple, grand disciple, but my order. So answer is already given in future system. So this is the reason why we are saying that there is no appointment. Not only there is no appointment, there is an alternative system where Prabhupada's physical participation is not required in the process of Diksha. In the process, the physical process of Diksha. Diksha is a spiritual process. There are two components to it. There is a physical component to it, the ceremony, name giving, mala, all those things are there. That he completed with the final instruction of let the Ritviks give the names. Okay, only name giving was left. And that is how, in reality, things stood when Srila Prabhupada
Now, I was just getting feedback after the Supreme Court judgment. There's been a wave of online activity. So in that, some devotees have put up post of how Ritvik and all those kind of things. And then the Guru-vadis have commented so many things. So some of the comments I was reading, if you are insisting so much, I will reject Prabhupada. To that degree. So even very other nasty comments also I have seen, of course. The immature people, they have no idea what they are speaking. But, like for example, how do we, if somebody is there and is in, say, in the ISKCON, I'm not even talking about the other people, in ISKCON or Prabhupada followers or Prabhupada built organization, which includes us also, them also. In that organization, some people say, I am very happy being in the Guru system. My spiritual life is going on. I'm very happy being in my spiritual life, in my spiritual way in which I'm practicing. And I don't find your process attractive or inspiring for me to follow because I have already adopted this process. What is the pitfall? What is the dangers? Or in what way is it inappropriate for them to practice what they feel like practicing? What is our take on that?
No.
They have their take on our practice because they feel that Ritvik is not the traditional process, which is a basic allegation that this is no more, nowhere implemented, nowhere practiced. It's a new invention, and so it is not having the Guru Sadhu Shastra
Support.
stamp. So this is not correct. For us also, we have our points. Like you said, until and unless the predecessor Acharya points, where is the bona fide of such kind of gurus? That's our take on them.
Right.
Their take is that it doesn't have any traditional acceptance. There is nowhere seen that after the passing away of the current guru, a new guru is not appointed. That kind of a system is not at all there. So that is there, of course.
Yeah.
We have our reasons. But what is the pitfall? What is the dangers? Or which is a better system to adopt in current reality?
Current reality. You see, when you come to reality, to understand reality, we have to refer to the history also. Okay, you're saying current reality. Now, if you ask this question in 1977, it would have been different because that current reality is not there. Now, this reality is a fact that several gurus have fallen down. Just because in this context we speak, we have to speak.
That's why you start talking about this fall down and all that. See, this why you're making the system.
No, it is. You said, what is the danger? Danger is you may be happy today.
Correct.
You may be happy today with your spiritual master. Many people were happy with Harikesh Swami. Many people were happy with Kirtananda Swami. Many people were happy with
Gopal Krishna Maharaj was such a saint.
Yeah, very happy. And some of them in their whole life, they may not fall down. Right? But as an institution, should we not open our eyes and see that we have to give a secure system of shelter? And that could have happened only if he had authorized. Since he did not authorized, may fall down, may not fall down. It's a different matter. So then, since your specific question is about what is the danger is that gurus who are not authorized, it's not my statement. Prabhupada says those who are not authorized can become victim of Maya and fall down.
One is that. Second is also, isn't it true that somebody who is not authorized by the predecessor Acharya is also not qualified at all to even whether he falls down or doesn't fall down also?
That is another aspect. The first aspect which I told. You may go on projecting. Whether you're projecting that uttama-adhikari aspects to that person. Whether he's really a uttama-adhikari is something that is, if there is a gap, there is deception. So your spiritual process is filled with a deception. Just like my spiritual process was filled with deception from 1981 to 1989. Now, 80 into 1998. So filled with deception, because as a honest follower of Prabhupada, whatever I do, I want to do perfectly. So I read everything, what Guru should be and everything, Guru's position, everything, and projected on Bhaktivedanta Swami. Right? And then and in so many public platforms of Ratha Yatra and everything, I have stood up and I have described Bhaktivedanta Swami as one of the 11 acharyas appointed by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Did he see the deception there? Not one time did he, after the function, tell me, please don't introduce me like that. I was not appointed. So, GBC has decided, we decided to become acharya. He did not say that. So deception is there. So I continued that. So deception have no place. Ignorant, innocent, or whatever it may be. Deception cannot take you forward. Just like Prabhupada says, you cannot get milk out of the flesh-like nipples on the neck of the goat.
A pure devotee is beyond the 6 defects, no? 6 defects of this one. One of the thing is cheating propensity.
Cheating propensity, 4 defects.
4 defects.
Yeah. Cheating propensity is there because of defective senses, because of misperception, wrong, incomplete perception. So this kind of cheating will happen. So just see, take my own life. When I analyze, this is how I feel, that I projected on all these things. And then there was a gap. And when I heard that, the biggest shock for me is when I discovered the July 9th letter, which Prabhupada had appointed them as Ritviks, not as acharyas. I still wouldn't believe it, that they can tell. The person who showed me this letter, I told him, oh yeah, you don't know. There is an appointment tape. Prabhupada has appointed all of them as acharyas. That much ignorant I am in 1998. See, you cannot imagine today's situation there. No internet. Computers have started coming into India. We are an island. We are closed from the outside world. So, this is this kind of it is happening even now. So we are irresponsible. As a leadership, ISKCON leadership is irresponsible if we put in place a system that deception is bound to happen. So just like now, they say, when you come to Shastric discussion, they say, GBC is not telling anybody is pure devotee. Why they should project? Have you taken precautions to tell the new devotee that, look, the GBC is not certifying whether the present gurus are madhyama-adhikaris or uttama-adhikaris? We do not certify. It is left to you. They don't even say that. If they don't say that, by default, what they will do? They will project that. And even, let us say, if the person, if a devotee, he projects such things on a person who is not matching those qualities, it will not last, because in the entire process of truth, if a person is 100% pure, if you see him as 100% pure, then no wrong, nothing wrong. We should see the truth at every stage of our life, in spiritual life. We cannot be misled by our own speculation. Every step should move from reality to reality to reality. Just like the sadhu-sanga. Srila Prabhupada is a uttama-adhikari guru. We have uttama-adhikari guru. We associate with each other in our in our daily sadhu-sanga. And we see the actual reality and we don't project. We don't project anything on them. We see the reality. Palena parichete. Oh, he is inspiring me. I take inspiration, etc. They take that. You are not actually pasting something artificially. So this is actually the trouble that is really happening in ISKCON, in the other camp, where a neophyte comes in and he has read Prabhupada's books. And you cannot blame him. He will consider his spiritual master to be like Prabhupada. Not maybe not empowered to preach like that, but he is pure. He is in the next in the parampara. If you don't believe he is in the next in the parampara, then you are not believing in Guru Parampara. So he is next in the parampara. And what is our acharyas, the quality of our acharyas in our parampara? What kind of personalities are sitting in our parampara?
Yeah. When you're saying this, what I'm seeing is that in the current ISKCON system, they perpetuate or they give license for this kind of
Deception.
deception.
No, they're very careful. They neither say this nor that. But in zonal acharya system, what you're saying is correct. It was institutionalized. They themselves, they said they're all Mahabhagavata. They're all statements like this. That they're all GBC statements. And there was a Guru Puja song. Yegara Mahajana. There was a song during Guru Puja.
For these 11
people, 11 Vyasasans were there before Radha Madhav DT.
My God.
Guru Puja was happening and this was one of the songs.
This was a song.
One of the songs. The 11 Mahajanas. So all this of abuses happened. So at least better late than never. Prabhupada has given in writing all this. Now we are mature. Maybe those days they were mature. They were very young. 10, 11 years in ISKCON movement. Correct? So that way I don't blame them. But you cannot take such any... See, you out of your ignorance, you jump into the well, that's a different matter. You're harming yourself. But when you do become a acharya and all, you are taking other people's life into your hands. Spiritual life into your hands. In fact, I always say in this, the disciple is like a child, spiritual child to the Guru. So we say spiritual father or Guru, like spiritual child. And, in the material world, this child abuse is considered to be a very serious offense. They put you behind the bars. Because the child's life is spoiled due to trauma. They created trauma. When the parents abuse or somebody else abuses, child abuse is considered to be very serious and it is punishable. But why is it that we, as a spiritual organization, when there is abuse of this faith, betrayal of this faith of the disciples who put their faith in their spiritual master as the next in parampara after Prabhupada, when he falls down or he himself abuses a child. This all has happened in ISKCON.
Absolutely.
He himself, the Guru himself abuses the child. The Guru running away with the wife of somebody else or with women. These are all. So I am saying that you may not have laws here, but it will be recorded in the Yamaraj. They'll have to answer for all these things. So it's not it's an ignorant act. It's not an innocent act to become an acharya, because there are perks coming with this. Worship, all these are coming with that.
These kind of things are also doing, is actually grooming you. A network, a system has been created which grooms you to put faith, to build faith. And then once you have trapped, then it's exploitation.
is exploitation. You cannot, very difficult to come out of it. Very difficult to come out.
I think really our world has to see this kind of reality,
We have to be.
We have to educate people. Please don't fall trapped to this kind of scenarios.
Yes.
They don't even recognize that they are being groomed. Because here the person appears, the person who is grooming that girl, he appears to, because in their house when they go and, when there's young boys, young teenagers, when they go and ask their father, mother, hey, don't spend the money, I'll not give you the money. So they come and
Support behind.
get behind these kind of people. So here also the same thing is they are looking for genuine guru.
Yes. They are looking for genuine guru.
They are
They
looking
only
for
walk
genuine
into
guru.
ISKCON. They walk into.
They walk into ISKCON. Philosophy is so powerful.
Yes.
Krishna is the Supreme Lord. No, it's undebatable. Like you said, I was inspired when I saw Sarva Karana Karanam. So what a powerful
Highest philosophy.
highest philosophy, highest tattva. And then you are groomed. Come. Just like bait and switch.
Yes. But in this little difference is there. You realize that you are trapped. As you said, somebody will say, I am happy now.
Yeah.
Correct. During the process, there is happiness.
Yeah.
Means you will feel, hey, what these people are talking about? I am so happy with my guru last 15 years, 10 years. But that's not the point. The point is we are on the path of absolute truth. And absolute truth, there are certain tattva, there are certain principles. It's a guru-tattva. Ordinary, the guru-tattva has two aspects. One is the Diksha Guru Tattva, Sadguru Tattva, the transcendental spiritual master, who's having 1 feet in the spiritual world and 1 feet here. A transcendental spiritual master. And then this is also Guru Tattva. Siksha Gurus is also Guru Tattva. If you understand that Tattva reality, Siksha Guru can be a person, Varta Pratyakshaka Guru. They're all spiritual masters. But if you know what this is a kind of spiritual master, that kind of relationship you have with that person, that level of respect you give, nothing crashes down if he falls down. Because you know that the philosophy says Madhyama-adhikari can fall down. Uttama-adhikari cannot fall down.
Kanishta-adhikari cannot fall. The Madhyama also doesn't fall down. That's what it says.
That's what it says. So,
Madhyama is very high.
so if you, Madhya itself is actually our philosophy, it's very high. Only Kanishtas fall. Kanishtas fall. That means, as per that definition, the Kanishtas declare themselves as the Acharyas.
Exactly. And just imagine, these are hippies on the roads. They're just 10, 12 years in the movement.
I would say that holy name is so powerful that if they hadn't taken up this false position, they would have survived as within ISKCON, doing so much service as pure devotees. Does not matter what was our background. That is the power of the holy name. That is the power that Prabhupada proved. You are hippies, you are this, you are that. Today modern, I was also like a hippie only. Yeah. An Indian.
All of us were like that.
All of us are hippies only. So the holy name has changed us.
Yeah.
So such a powerful thing is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we are talking about a finer thing of a deliverer guru, a sadguru, an eternal spiritual master, Janme Janme Prabhu say. These are all, that difference between that and recognizing anybody who teaches you as one kind of guru for you. The principle of guru is flowing, has to flow like the nervous system in this body. Everywhere there are nerves, everywhere different, right? Similarly, if you have to advance, that we have to see that guru tattva, the principle of guru, in other words called gurutva. Gurutva is everywhere to help the jiva to move forward from where he is to the next step. So therefore, this is another misunderstanding that people throw on Ritviks. Oh, you have no respect for other Vaishnavas. Only Prabhupada is the only guru. And others are all gurus. But they are Siksha gurus. Siksha guru, you see as per their qualification and Phalena Parichayate, you offer. But as far as once you accept somebody as a Diksha guru, you cannot go by Phalena Parichayate. You have to accept what the Shastra says. Sakshat Dharit. That's why early morning we wake up and we pray to spiritual master. Sakshat Dharitvena Tam. Whether you realize or not, please understand this. Otherwise, don't accept him as guru. So that is it. This is exactly the abuse in ISKCON that happens. That the person who is a spiritual practitioner is not guarded by the institution from he being undergoing any deception, a deceptive relationship, an absolute relationship being projected on personalities who are not absolute. So this is the
Last 27 years journey.
So within ISKCON, I was in that system, as I said. In fact, somebody posted my Vyasa Puja offering of 1989 to Bhaktivedanta Swami. I was reading that. I said, how much I was deceived. Principle is right. The person is wrong. All that fits Prabhupada. And if I recall in those days, Vyasa Puja writing, it's a ritual. First, it's a ritual, no? Vyasa Puja is coming, you have to write a Vyasa Puja offering. Then you go study what is a guru and things like that. So so you write that. So they cannot. Now somebody is quoting, see, you did all this for Jayapataka. Now how you changed? How I changed today? So far I have explained why and how that realization. Because of not authorization. Moment I heard, they were not authorized. And I had this question always nagging behind my mind. One question, always nagging in ISKCON, with that no answer till 1999. What was that? Because I believed Prabhupada appointed them. If they were appointed, how did they fall down? Many had fallen by 90s. How did these people fall down? I used to rationalize to myself and say, the only reason they can fall down is when they are offensive to Prabhupada himself. Maybe so. Like this, I was keeping myself satisfied. But this nagging question completely got answered when I saw the July 9th letter, and I didn't believe in it. I didn't believe that such big deception can happen to the person who showed me the letter. I didn't believe. The very same day I went to Jayapataka Swami in the lawns of Radha Parthasarathi Mandir opening in Delhi. I asked him this simple question. I seen this letter, and I'm sure there is another letter where you all been appointed. And he was taking prasadam that time. He did not answer anything. No answer came. Then I went to Mayapur. There also no answer came with him. I didn't get any answer. So by then I understood that there is no answer for this. The devotee who showed me July 9th letter is correct. Whole paradigm shifted. That they were not appointed by Prabhupada. How did I believe this many years, this thing? Now I understand why they are falling down. An authorized person will never fall down. A person who is authorized in the parampara will not fall down, because authorization is coming from a person who knows that this person has that qualification. You cannot be self-qualifying yourself. Today's ISKCON system is, okay, he desires to become a spiritual master. Why don't you tell they are all becoming Siksha gurus? You want to institutionalize Siksha gurus? Okay, everybody is a Siksha guru, but some are institutional Siksha gurus. Then it is different. We have no problems. At that time, in such a situation, the ISKCON movement also will be united. It is not based on disciples, guru camps. Now in a temple, if you okay, practically you see Bombay 90% or and Delhi 90%, they're all disciples of Gopal Krishna. Or all the temples that he is a GBC, he is only Guru. Chaupati, the very same city, Chaupati, they're all Radhanath Swami's disciples. So what happens is there is a new sense of post 77, there is a new sense of ownership of souls. Discipleship. He's his disciple, his disciple, his disciple. This is very abnormal for for you keeping the movement united. Everybody is disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Every soul is property of Prabhupada. Every soul that comes into ISKCON. Just like I came into ISKCON. After finding a guru, then after coming to ISKCON, they put into your head, you have to find a guru. How funny it is. At least when I joined, before finding a guru, so-called guru, I was chanting Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Burle Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. After initiation, I was told, now you should chant your Guru's mantra first and then Prabhupada. See, these are all practices which are very offensive and it creates so much of deception.
Internal conflict.
Yeah, internal conflicts. No. I should follow what they say. First him. And first your personal guru. Through him only to Srila Prabhupada. So this is how that Prabhupada's transcendental aura, that Vani aura that existed, which was available for pre-77 newcomers, started getting covered.
No, you see, what is happening is, like when we are discussing, it may sound too intellectual for an ordinary Krishna conscious person who's coming into to understand what we are talking. It becomes, for him, Guru is there, ye kya baat kar raha hai bhai? Ye aadmi, something he is talking, it's going beyond my head, all these things. That's the mood they are. Generally, if you see rank and file, they're not able to, I can see, because we have heard so many times and being here, I can understand every word of you. But not from a boasting point of view. But the reality is, it just doesn't sink in. It doesn't get what we are talking about. All these aspects just doesn't enter. It just becomes, we can see that it's on a sentimental plane. People are generally on a sentimental plane or some personal feelings. On that basis, only relationship is established. Even spiritual relationships are established and continued and built. And you see, when relationships are built, like Prabhupada says, if your wife is the most ugliest one also, she's the most beautiful for her husband. So even a spiritual master also, at some point they see, because I've seen devotees saying that, yeah, aisa hi hai, but he's my spiritual master.
So the problem is, what you're saying is correct. And the system of, just like you see, you cannot expect a child in the primary school to understand the reason why the education system has designed his educational development from primary to middle school to high school. He doesn't understand. So the responsibility is for the persons who designed the school system. 99% of the people, they fall in line with the system.
Yeah.
So the problem is with the leaders and all these things. That is why it is said, it is best to simply follow the Acharya to his word.
So I want to tell the people who call us property grabbers, MPPS property grabbers. It's a lesson. In Bangalore, we want to create a system which will enable them to surrender to Srila
Srila
Prabhupada.
No deception.
It's not about property matter.
Yes. If it is property matter, after me chanting so much, why I would have the determination for 25 years not to give in?
Now, to understand this, they have to understand all the things that we have discussed.
Yes.
That's a challenge.
No, the thing is, ultimately Krishna is in control, right? ISKCON's history, so many things happened. Without Krishna's will, I wouldn't have come out of that system. Without Krishna's will, 1978, much before I joined, a separate society would not have been registered. So all these things, the Lord is in control, and Lord, if there is something which is lacking in ISKCON, and now a new, the pre-77, without any change in the system, now ISKCON Bangalore is following. And I tell you, when I just took up the Ritvik system of initiation, the cause of that, when I took it up, one of the, pre-77 disciples of Prabhupada, he was very much, he said, no, I understand this Ritvik thing. Prabhupada's order should be followed. But he said, but it doesn't work. I said, why? He said, you cannot keep the devotees together unless you have
Correct.
a person with the aura. There has to be an acharya, there has to be a guru. In your system, it is all little dissipated. You cannot run a temple. He told me, you will not be able to run even Bangalore temple.
You will not command respect.
But, and I analyzed the reason why he was saying that is because from 77, that aura was Prabhupada's. They covered that. So, and they said it is not available anything more. But for us, just we see, now we started with 30 full-time devotees. Now we are a group of 1,200 full-time devotees. How did we come together? How we are so dedicated? How exactly, we are not lacking any kind of unity. Prabhupada is a uniting force. Why? Because we are feeling the transcendental aura of Srila Prabhupada, which is, in a sense, it is covered in devotees.
Okay, I'll play devil's advocate here. You are saying it's Prabhupada's aura. I will say it's yours, Chanchalapati Prabhu's aura also.
No, see, the thing is, we have to understand.
That's what is uniting.
That is true. Leaders play a role. But here what happens is, they don't have, everybody knows here that they don't have an absolute position in their life. They are Shiksha Gurus. They are guiding us. Very clearly they have understood that their absolute relationship is with Srila Prabhupada. They clearly understand that not only me, Chanchalapati, so many other senior devotees, they are guiding the devotees to get deeper and deeper connection with Srila Prabhupada. Everything that we do here, we ensure that they repose their faith more and more and more in Srila Prabhupada.
Okay. This is a slightly controversial thing. Do you think in our organization, supposing in the system that we are doing, in the system that we are functioning, say if you and Chanchalapati Prabhu are out, will the same connection be continued?
It will be continued.
100% sure?
100% sure, because...
How you are saying this?
I am saying because...
Will they not fight with each other?
No.
Will we, because now we are seeing that you are a strong leader. MPP is a strong leader. CPP, ultimately devotees will bend if they say finished. Okay, chodo. I say, it will not happen like that. So you see, again, we are also part of that same system, no?
No, correct. This is any organization. Any organization, the leader has an influence. It is personal personal philosophy of ours. Therefore, if you take out my element out, there will be many others who are also growing up to maturity. So as by time, let us say our lifetime over, many others would have, they are also, just like we are also progressed by chanting Hare Krishna. Madhu Pandit of 2025 is not Madhu Pandit of 2000. Madhu Pandit of 1985 is not Madhu Pandit of 2025. Correct. Similarly, Vyomapada will not be same Vyomapada.
Absolutely.
So we are all growing. What is most important is the total system, including Prabhupada's instruction. Now, as an organization I'm speaking, that each center should be independent in terms of the leader having a sincere disciple of Srila Prabhupada, having freedom as a leader to guide the devotees, to develop the organization, to build the organization, and just like Prabhupada said, ownership turns sand into gold. That sense of ownership Prabhupada has given to each temple president. And the GBC is also another important element in this, where all the temple presidents align themselves to a collective intelligence of a GBC. And that GBC, we know from historically, GBC can go wrong. We correct ourselves. We don't think GBC is absolute. GBC is absolute. We'd never think that GBC is absolute. Prabhupada said GBC is ultimate managing authority. In management, many things. There are many rights. Some rights are better than other rights. There are many wrongs. So in reality, in management, we go on improving whatever we want.
Why I am asking this question is basically like the power of the system. We are telling how the power of the system, the Ritvik system that we are trying to build into the organization, will drive focus, will drive so many.
Not 100%.
That's what I am trying to say.
People are also important. People
so now
system.
What I am trying to say is that you are there, you are the person, you are the people who are driving. If you are taking away, the system will collapse. That's what my point is.
Your point may be that, but each of us Prabhupada empowers us to take on roles as I said, next generation or even the present generation, younger devotees to us, they also develop that same quality when they follow the spiritual process of attachment to the holy name, seriously following japa. All these things are very important. It is not about management ability alone.
The spiritual potency of the person.
Spiritual potency also. So system is important. Along with the system, the people in the system is also very important.
So that's what now I'm coming to the point. This is exactly, we need to tell even the Guruvadis that we don't discard the people element at all.
No, we're not. As you rightly said, I have a big role. Presently, I have a big role.
It's huge.
It's a big role.
So similarly, if our organization also has to move on and sustain itself at the same level what it is currently, it needs people.
It needs people. It's an organization.
So just by saying we are Ritvik, it's not that everything
nothing. It's not. It's a living system. Everything else that was happening in Srila Prabhupada's mission pre-77 continues to happen.
Yeah.
We are only saying don't change anything. Keep Prabhupada like that and then we progress. And then organization evolves. Slowly it grows up. As a devotee's personal spiritual power is also very important.
So this aspect we have seen repeatedly in the Gaudiya Sampradaya happening. Like how Prabhupada says Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur left and immediately collapsed. Rupa Goswami, Bhaktivedanta Thakur, when he came, he revived the entire Gaudiya Sampradaya. Surprised that it was completely Sahajiya.
Right.
So there is really no guarantee
No, there is. I will tell you. I have a counter. For
How there is guarantee?
you started with Bhaktivedanta Thakur, then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, then Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. There's a gradual evolution.
Decline and evolution.
There's the decline is decline is happening, but in the midst of that decline, there's a gradual evolution of systems, which more or less safeguards. The as an organization, all I'm talking as an organization, organizational strength. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, first he made this Gaudiya, right? In traditional way, there is no organization. Religion, Vaishnavism is not organized into any mutt or any institution.
Hindu society itself is not supposed to be.
Not supposed to be. So, as a revolutionary, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he did this, and to quote him, he said not exact quote, I do not know, but he said that the idea of governing body commission is from the railway board. He said because he's borrowing from the outside world. Such a huge network of railways running. Top is a board. So the GBC has come from that. If you read the biography of Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So he introduced that into the institution. And therefore Prabhupada says that they did not follow that after him. So it collapsed. And here Prabhupada was insisting. He made the governing body during his lifetime. There he said you should make one. Here Prabhupada during his lifetime, 1970, by direction of management, he created this board, governing body. So the systems have been improving, and therefore there are two aspects, system and people. Okay. System itself is improving, has improved. Therefore, today, as an organization, historically, our parampara, Prabhupada has written umpteen letters on management. What is this, Acharya? Thousands of letters on management, because for him, management was not different from philosophy. Because he had to build this organization. And today, those corpus of letters of management that Prabhupada is already set. Just like when we have some issues in our GBC, we go back to letter of Prabhupada. And it's surprising, for practically every management issue, there is an answer from Prabhupada. So we are much more well equipped if we follow Srila Prabhupada's instructions to have a more stable organization. I am not saying 100%, because unique situation will come according to times. Just like Prabhupada said, books are the basis. You have to understand the spirit. Books are the basis, means knowledge is the basis. Today, online, somebody says, no, Prabhupada said distribute books. You distribute the knowledge in the books through online. That is not distribution of books. It is. Today, people are just brainwashed by the media. So we should also adopt that. So like this, as we evolve.
Like, for example, why I'm also, because that what triggered this kind of questioning is basically मधु पंडित और चंचलपति प्रभु, मधु पंडित प्रभु और चंचल प्रभु जाने दो, फिर देखो एक एक बरबर के आ जाएंगे हमारे पास, उनके पास कोई नहीं है. Then that's the same.
If me and Chanchalapati were zonal acharyas, it would have happened. That's what happened. When Harikesh fell down, this is what happened. Here, nothing will shake. As I said, Prabhupada's movement is unstoppable. Definitely, ultimately, everything depends on spiritual power. That is, just like rain falls everywhere. Falls on the rock, falls on the earth, sand, clay. Absorbing capacity is different. Similarly, we all chant Hare Krishna. We all read Prabhupada's books. How much we absorb, that much power, spiritual power manifests for the organizational work. That is why in our group of temples, we always insist that please manage the sadhanas of all the devotees. I tell all the temple presidents. That is the most important thing. You don't have to do other management. All other management automatically, very smoothly it happens. But if you manage the consciousness of the devotees, and consciousness of the devotee can be managed only through morning program. Have a good morning program, chant, teach devotees how to chant properly. Younger devotees should be taught how to chant and hear, not to think. All these things, this is very important. Simple instruction. You do a chanting, you do one mala, thinking of so many things. It's like 1,000 malas, whereas one mala of chanting and hearing every word is like chanting mindlessly, 1,000 malas. That means, in 16 rounds you're chanting, it makes such a, you run towards Krishna 1,000 times faster if you hear. So naturally, the movement is ultimately, everything is done by the paramparic force. The spiritual strength is what builds the organization. Last 25 years, we have built the organization not by our individual strength, by the Shakti that is flowing through the Guru Parampara. That Shakti is saying. They say, how stupidly they say that, oh, Madhu Pandit is materially powerful, therefore he defeated us. How can he, in our Krishna consciousness, all powers of the devotee when engaged in Krishna's service, nothing is material. It is Krishna's empowerment. So we always want every devotee to feel that you chant nicely, you hear nicely, follow the principles properly, and the sadhana program, then everybody will get empowered. The whole parampara is waiting to empower everyone. There's not like absolute limitation of anybody that, okay, now you are there, Madhu Pandit is there, Chanchalapati is there. After that, there will be hundreds of Madhu Pandits, hundreds of Chanchalapatis. That is the effectiveness of Prabhupada's teachings. So that's not there is a continuous, just like you see apple tree, a lot of apples are there. You'll see, okay, oh, you're plucking all the apples. Hey, it'll be empty.
A wonderful example.
It'll be empty. If the system, if the tree is there, apples keep on coming. Similarly, empowered devotees will keep on, manifesting in this movement. We are all about that. Prabhupada is about. Now we cannot be sitting like ducks. Our ambition is to get empowered to preach Krishna consciousness. Our ambition is Prabhupada and Krishna's mercy. More money comes. Just like, Prabhupada is, that Leela that Prabhupada was giving a lecture in the same place as, one famous sadhu in Bengal. And somebody asked that, see, when so-and-so was given was asked a question, was told that there is some money under your asana. Under the asana he was sitting. He jumped up. Money. So Prabhupada, they asked Prabhupada, if I say so, what will you? So Prabhupada said, Kota chelao. How much money you have bring? So this is all Krishna Shakti. This Maya, we have to take this Maya and engage in Krishna Shakti. So we are gunning for money, no doubt. It's all to separate money from, these are not what, this is Hari Sambandha Vastu. We cannot separate it. These are all very powerful principles that the Goswamis have taught us. And this was practiced by Srila Prabhupada. He did not stay aloof from the material resources. And therefore, this management things, there is a power of scaling that comes from organization. This was adopted by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Prabhupada. So we also have to, maybe sometimes it look uncomfortable that, spiritual life is no organization, this position, that position. Everything is spiritualized. Everybody is a servant leader. Otherwise, we have to educate our devotees. At least in our group, we have educated. Please don't feel, no, I won't be temple president. It's all some material things. You're misunderstood the whole philosophy. You have to be temple president and not be thinking that you are the doer. You have to seek empowerment without knowing very well that the power is not mine. I have been empowered to do it. Because without empowerment, nothing can be done in this world. Power moves everything. And Krishna consciousness means Krishna with his power, with his energy. The total truth is God with his energy. This is Vaishnava philosophy. We cannot eliminate his energy. Either it's external energy or internal energy. It's all his energy. So we have to do something for Krishna. We have to spread Krishna consciousness. We have to build an organization. We have to build a great organization. It is very important that we understand that, we should not be shy. We should be ready to handle power, but not touch like water on a lotus, not getting affected. Not getting affected by power, it comes on a daily basis. We are not fully self-realized to be irrevocably not touched by water. Daily insulation is there, daily insurance is there, morning sadhana program. That day you will not get touched by the water. You stop your chanting, you stop all these things, the sadhana, you are not irrevocably situated on the transcendental platform. Immediately Maya will catch you. And then if you are a leader, when Maya catches you, you do harm to even your followers. So that's why Prabhupada said that in the Bhaktivedanta purport, Prabhupada said GBCs will be questioned by Yamaraj.
Mhm.
Will be questioned by Yamaraj if they are doing mistakes.
So it is wonderful talking to you. If we could like to continue what is happening here.
Oh, it's long.
So
We can continue. More sessions.
more sessions we can do.
I have so many more
On
things.
so
to say.
many varieties of topics are there which I
Yes.
want to talk on.
Yes.
So just on this we are in the cusp of the victory that we are right now in. So a lot of devotees were asking me, ask this question, ask that question, how we won the case, this is the point, that's the point on which we won. And I was just sitting back and thinking, should I do that? Then I decided, no, I'll not do that. I'll not address any technical questions, how Ritvik is right, how we won the case, how they are wrong, what was our point. That's not what I want to do today. I want to discuss in a holistic way what this journey has been, what is the real crux of our thinking, our inspiration. And I think to some degree I've done justice. I hope so. Thank you very much, Madhu Pandit Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.